The Chevrolet 396 Porcupine engine remains one of the most controversial and mysterious power plants in American automotive history. Rumored to be so powerful that NASCAR tried to bury it, so innovative that Chevrolet hid its true potential, and so unique that even rivals couldn't replicate it, this engine wasn't just built, it was born to stir controversy. What if the so-called mystery motor never really vanished, but instead evolved quietly behind closed doors? In the horsepower battles of the 1960s, Chevrolet launched the 396 cubic inch V8 to stake its claim. The L78 version, a high-performance beast, found its way into muscle car icons like the Camaro, Chevelle, El Camino, and certain Corvettes. But behind its production success was a shadowy backstory, one involving a nearly outlawed variant nicknamed the Porcupine because of its radical canted valve cylinder heads, which allowed for better airflow and power output. This innovation, which made the valve layout resemble the quills of a porcupine, gave the engine a signature performance edge. Its origins trace back to the 1963 427 Mystery motor, an experimental engine designed for NASCAR domination. Though the 427 and 396 came from different families, they shared engineering DNA, particularly the aggressive valve arrangement. When GM pulled out of racing in '63, engineers supposedly continued refining the design in secret. The result was the Mark IV big block family, with the 396 debuting first. By early 1965, Chevrolet introduced three versions of the 396, the L78, the L37, used in the Chevelle Z16, and the milder L35. The L78 stood out with 425 horsepower advertised, solid lifter camshaft, 11-to-1 compression, and wholly 4-barrel carburetor. However, many believe Chevrolet underrated the engine's true power, likely due to insurance regulations and internal GM rules limiting mid-size cars to 400 cubic inches. On the drag strip, the L78 routinely beat its advertised specs, making it a street legend. The L37 was a slightly toned-down version, while the L35 catered to full-size cars with a tamer performance profile. Only a limited number of these engines made it into production cars, making them rare and desirable today. Just over 2,000 units were built for both the Corvette and Chevelle Z16. The 396 was never produced in overwhelming numbers, yet it spawned a legendary lineage, leading to 427, 454, and eventually the 8.1-liter Vortec big block V8 engines. So was the 396 Porcupine banned? Official NASCAR records don't confirm a direct ban. Instead, strict homologation rules, Chevy's exit from factory racing, and the rise of more powerful 427 and 454 variants likely pushed the 396 out of the spotlight. But its influence never faded. Rumors persist that Chevy had a more radical, high-performance version that was shelved before it could be unleashed. And the theory that Chevrolet downplayed its horsepower for insurance and legal reasons adds fuel to the mystery. Despite being overshadowed by its larger siblings, the 396 Porcupine holds a critical place in Chevy's racing and performance legacy. It was a stepping stone, a technological marvel, and a symbol of a time when automakers pushed the limits, even if they had to hide the results. Today, collectors and enthusiasts still hunt for these engines, hoping to uncover a piece of history that refused to die. While it wasn't designed purely for racing, the Chevrolet 396 big block engine has long sparked debate among muscle car enthusiasts. One of the most persistent rumors surrounding this engine is that Chevrolet significantly underrated its horsepower. Officially, the L78 version of the 396 was said to produce 375 horsepower at 5,600 RPM and 415 pound-feet of torque at 3,600 RPM. But dyno tests and insider accounts suggest the real number could have been closer to 425 horsepower or even higher. Why the discrepancy? Back in the muscle car era, it was common for manufacturers to understate performance figures. Higher horsepower often meant higher insurance premiums for buyers, which could hurt sales. Additionally, GM had internal policies in place that restricted midsize cars to engines under 400 cubic inches. To stay within these corporate limits, Chevrolet may have purposely downplayed the power of the 396 while still giving drivers a serious performance machine. In real-world performance, the L78 396 often exceeded expectations. This engine wasn't just a number on paper, it dominated the drag strip. Built with serious components like a solid lifter camshaft, 11:1 compression ratio, rectangular port heads, and wholly 4-barrel carburetor, it was a beast. Branded as the Turbojet, it first appeared in 1965 in cars like the Corvette, the full-size Impala, and certain Chevelle SS models. Its rarity added to its mystique. Only 2,157 Corvettes were ever equipped with the L78, and just 201 Chevelle SS 396 Z16 rolled off the line with it. These models needed modifications to house the engine, such as a domed hood and a transistor ignition system, and were typically paired with a 4-speed manual. Although the L78 396 stayed in production until 1970, it never quite stole the spotlight from its larger, more famous siblings like the 427 and 454. So what held the 396 back from becoming a legend on the same scale? Part of it was timing. GM had banned factory-supported racing in '63, shifting focus to more production-friendly versions of their engines. NASCAR regulations also didn't favor limited-run motors, which sidelined the 396 from serious track dominance. As GM pushed ahead with even bigger engines, the 396 faded from prominence, but it was never forgotten. Today, the 396 still stands tall as a symbol of Chevrolet's big block legacy. Its role in paving the way for the iconic 427 and 454 engines is undeniable. Though it never received full factory support or the fame it deserved, enthusiasts continue to uncover its hidden potential. Whether it's tucked away in a barn-find Chevelle or preserved in a collector's Corvette, the 396 Porcupine engine remains a ferocious reminder of muscle car glory days. And who knows, there may still be secrets about this engine locked away in GM's archives, waiting to be uncovered. Until then, keep your engines warm and your passion hot. This is Paul from Rare Car Stories. See you in the next chapter of automotive history.